Today on the Ferguson Home, we have part 2 of our Unscripted series where Barie and I will ask questions, things that husbands want to know and wives want to know about communication. All right, question 2.
Okay, why do men want to fix things instead of just listening?
Because we want to help our wives resolve whatever they're talking about.
So we'll stop talking, or why?
Pretty much. No, I think, there's multiple reasons for this. I think part of it is, and this is a stereotype, so forgive me, it doesn't apply to every man out there, but most men want to resolve problems. They want to solve problems. They want to fix things, And so when their wife is explaining something that's frustrating them or a situation that's difficult, the husband goes into like, let me analyze, let me figure out how I can resolve that, problem solve that. And it's really out of a good heart of saying, this thing that my wife is bringing up is driving her crazy. And the best thing that I could do, this is the way a man thinks, the best thing I could do for her in that situation is resolve the thing that's bothering her.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what we as men do is we skip over the listening part and the empathy part of entering into our wives' pain and struggle and just kind of jump to the problem solving part. And so I think that's where we frustrate. But again, just understanding it's not out of heart of maliciousness. A lot of times that's the way men relate to each other. Like when I'm going to my buddies, I think this is just, it's helpful to know men kind of function differently than women do around these things. Like men are not typically going to sit around and just talk about how they feel about a situation.
Right.
They're normally going to sit around and say, hey, I got this problem. Yeah. Does anybody have this problem? Do y'all know how to solve it, right?
Well, and I can only imagine too that, if you're at work all day and you don't get paid to just listen, like you're paid for productivity, for figuring out problems and getting to the solution. And so that I can't imagine that's just part of your this is what I have to do. This is what I'm called to do. And so bringing that home, I can see how that would be easy to do.
Well, and sometimes too, I think for us as men.
But we're not a problem to be fixed. Just saying.
Well, listen, you speak into this situation because I think for us sometimes as men, we're not always sure, is my wife sharing this with me because she does want my help to solve this problem, or is she sharing this with me because she wants me to just listen and just understand what she's going through? So give us some help.
Well, I think as we start to share something, you could just, hey, can I ask really quick before you go on? Is this something that you really want me to partner with you in figuring out a solution, or are you just wanting me to listen? And just ask right at the get-go.
So it's on us to try to diagnose that.
Right? So I'm saying, no, you don't have to diagnose it. Ask the wife and give her, let her give you some input and direction on where this conversation is going. Is she looking for you to solve it? Is she looking for you to not solve it?
Okay.
We have that specifically in our relationship because now we both work at the same church. So he's the lead pastor. I'm the director of marriage ministries. And so that is all kinds of interesting, right? As we do have to clarify a lot more hey, I'm not coming to you because you're leading the church. I'm coming to you because I just want to process, just as my husband, and just process with me before I.
Yeah, and we are joking, but I do ask that question regularly.
You do?
Yeah. Do you want me to help you solve this problem, or are you just wanting a ear that you can share with and process how you feel about it?
You're doing great. That's exactly what I'm saying to do.
So the moral of this story is, husbands, you have to ask, what exactly are you wanting out of this conversation? To get a little bit of clarity.
Yeah.
All right, second question from me. Men want to know, are you really that angry during that time of the month, or is it just an act to give men a hard time?
Both.
That's not helpful.
No. The first thing I would encourage is that wives, right now, you should take out your phone, go to the app store, and I think the health app on the Apple apps now does the same thing, but I have an app called Clue, and it has helped me tremendously in this area because honestly, though I'm 40 years old, I don't take time to really process what my body's doing. I'm just going through the day. And so it would hit me and I would be more anxious and angry, quick to anger, quick to just gripe and more pessimistic. But I didn't put it together that it was connected to that time of month. Because honestly, men, just for y'all to understand that it's not just like when we are on our cycle. Like the cycle is the whole month, and there's things that are going on all month long in a woman's body. And so when I tend to get fussy is not like during that time of month specifically, but like 3 or 4 days before. But going back to that app, the Clue app, it helped me after tracking, because it'll ask you, you can put in there like about your mood. And so I tracked that over months and months to where now it sends me a text to let me know that my emotions are temporarily crazy. And so I know. And
so how do the husbands get that notification?
I should have looked that up. I didn't know but yeah, I tell Keith, so I just will let him know, and it kind of helps me be aware to not make any big decisions, to not, to simplify my day. So that's one thing. Anyway, to answer your question, it's a real deal.
It's a real thing.
And I wish, every wife wishes that we could get a handle on exactly what's going on in our body with the hormones. Because we don't want to feel crazy either. But there's legit stuff with our hormones that are changing that we, as much as we even try to know with the different apps, whatever, we still don't. I mean, I guess doctors do, but not me.
So as a follow-up question to that, so that's really good. So you're encouraging the wives to know their cycle, know their bodies, know what's happening with their hormones.
And based on that, to simplify your day and your decision making and how stressful the day is based on that.
So from a husband's perspective, what would you say that is most helpful that a husband does during, maybe it's that day of the month where your hormones are the most intense, or like to use your words, you feel the most crazy? What does a husband do, or can a husband do to help?
I think not to make us feel bad in the moment. And I think there's been seasons where you've been really bad at that, and seasons where you've really rocked it at that. So I think we're getting better. But yeah, if you're quick to like call out your wife in front of the kids or in front of everybody, or to kind of yell at her and make her feel horrible for it, that's for sure not going to help. So one of the best things that you do is say, hey, why don't you go outside and read for a little bit, or why don't you go get a Starbucks, or go get some quiet time. So I think you kind of notice, if I let you know at the beginning of the day, hey, I'm feeling a little bit
on edge.
On edge is how I say. Then you're just kind of good about giving me an out if you see that it's kind of crazy around our house, because that will just feed my crazy. And so you'll give me an out to say, go. What are you laughing at?
Feed my crazy. I love that line.